Hey, thanks for coming back. If we continue to say the same thing in the same way, with the same tone, I don't care what it is, by and by, it becomes something of a bore. Yeah? And because Christians, because they say over and over hundreds of times a month or however often, and because preachers and teachers and church leaders are constantly telling us, as they should tell us, that God really loves us, and quoting texts such as maybe the most famous of them, John 3:16, for God so loved the world. Because we do that, the love of God becomes a noise, a sound. Well, we believe it, of course, but it loses some power to become a personal experience. So, however we talk about it, we can't make it always brand new. There's truth in one of the hymns that we used to sing more of than we do now, I would think, that tell me the story of Jesus. And one phrase in it is, for those who know it best, they hunger to hear it like the rest. That's true. And yet, surely we must learn the language of love. Poetry can help us. Great poets. You don't have to read all the poetry in the world, and not all poets are great, and not all poets intend to be the moving kind. But poetry not only helps you see a truth differently. Oh, I didn't think of that. Yeah. But it also gives you speech. You learn new ways to say things. Yeah, I was going to give you an illustration, I can't think of one. But poetry and good movies, good writers, to watch a good movie is to watch a good book, because you have screenwriters who put it up on the screen and make it available for the eyes. But there are people who write the books, and then there are people who write it for vision. Those people are gifted, and they learn from life. They look around. They see life. So a really great book is not a bunch of words. It's like the Bible, only the Bible is the unique book. You and I understand that. But the Bible has new angles about the love of God that we need to spend time in, and it isn't enough. We keep on quoting John 3:16. For God so loved the world. It's a wondrous truth. But to help people come to think about it and think about it more, we need to find ways to develop that text. Does God have any blood? He didn't have a body. He didn't have a material body. Jesus said of his Father, God is spirit. That's in John, when he's speaking to that woman in John 4. He says, God is spirit. He didn't say God is a spirit. God is not material. He's not human and that. He's spirit. What is that? You have no idea what the word spirit means. It's telling you he doesn't belong to a material world. Yeah, so he doesn't have body and flesh and bone and that kind of thing. Jesus said that about a spirit. Spirit does not have flesh and bone. So what's that got to do with anything? Well, it's got this to do with it. Of God, we are told that he shed his own blood to purchase the church. How does that ring with you? Have we any notion of how deep and sustained the love of God is for us? And if we keep talking about it and don't speak about it in a setting, a verbal setting, and in a way that is worthy of him, then the words become. Here we go again with John 3:16. John 3:16 says 10,000 things. And but we haven't seen God. We haven't heard him speak. We don't know any of those things about him. That's true. But all that was in the beginning, that was just word. And God said, and God said, and God said, let there be, let there be, let there be. It then became flesh. And a young guy who is the spitting image of God comes into our view. And 2 John 1 and following says, that which was in the beginning, it was made known to us. We heard the words, we believed the words, but we didn't really get it. All of a sudden, not all of a sudden, planned from the beginning. In comes this young, ever young Jesus Christ and said, you want to know what he looks like? He takes a picture of himself out of his pocket and said, he looks like that. If we want to talk about the love of God, we will hear his words. His words are alive. But there came a point when that wasn't enough for him. And he said, I'm going to let them see how I look. I'm going to let them hear how I feel and talk. And he did it in Jesus Christ. Bear this in mind then, when you hear some hard words from God in the Old Testament. Your first question is, who said those? And then your next move is Jesus Christ's Father, and he is the image of that one who said those words. And he acted out what that one who said those words feel. Yeah. Jesus comes into a town, two different towns, two different times, and the text says, and they all cried an end, saying, Who is this man? Millions are doing it. Every day. Every day. They're doing it. Who is Jesus? What kind of a human is he? What kind of a person was he? You don't know how tall he was. You didn't know what color his hair was. You didn't know what kind of food he enjoyed eating. You didn't nothing like that do you know about him, and yet we want to know. Who is this man who can speak 2,000 years ago, and we're still wanting to know who he is? He's so powerful. Get Jesus. Ask your teachers for Jesus Christ, not just words Jesus, 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 Jesus over and over. Get them to work with you, to get words, get other ways to describe him, get poetry, get song, get movies, get books, get anything and everything that helps you see him and become adoring of him. There's no stronger, lovelier word for love than adoring. Adore him. Just be what? Hey? I didn't do that very well, but there it is. God bless you. Thank you for being with us. Come back. Would you? Please come back. But if you don't, it's okay. But please come back. God bless you.